Hi everyone, this is Rob from Learning Technologies here at ESU. I want to take you through a little bit of a quick overview of introducing you to some of the Google products which may help you in some of your course content. Specifically, what we're going to look at today is the possibility of using Google's collections. It's called collections, or it's also called folders, depending upon which view you are looking at, either the new or the old. And the possibility of using that for such applications as student portfolios, where they can upload content. So first, let's give you just a quick crash course on accessing that content. Since the university is moving over to Google, for both students and faculty, you have access to that directly through the Google website. So you can simply go to drive.google.com or docs.google.com. And you can go ahead and log in with your ESU credentials. Alternatively, if you already have a Google account that you use, like I have one as well, you can log in using that Google account and also access some of the same features and functionality. It's just nice because this actually will utilize the LDAP authentication from right here on campus, so you can access that content directly. So let's go ahead and log in using my ESU email address and password, just like I would on campus if I were logging in. And the first thing you come up to is your Drive account. You see that the Emporia State logo appears up in the upper left-hand side. So let me show you what we're striving for, and then we'll show you how I got there. So if you look over under my the Drive account, and by the way, Drive is actually a shared content area as well that you can also use to, I think they give you 5 free gigabytes worth of space for storing content and so forth, which is kind of a nice place. It's kind of like Dropbox or one of those features that you can store content in the cloud rather. But here's where we're sort of going toward is, you can see over here I have this add admin folder that I just completely made up. There's no add admin 500 course, I'm sure, but I just sort of made that up so you can see it. And then I've got some students under that with color-coded folders that I've created as well. And what I would do is assign each of those folders the permission to access that, to be able to upload content to that folder and serve as sort of a document repository, e-portfolio type of application for various course content. So I'm going to click up here where it says Add Admin Folder, and I'm going to just delete these fictitious student folders out that we have right here. And I can go ahead and I could keep that if I want to. I can also I can delete that folder if I so inclined. I can also come down here to the Add Admin and just delete that. Hit the trash can, and that will delete that folder out as well. So it's going to take just a second to go ahead and delete that. And we'll try that one more time. There we go. Yes, took a minute to finally get that one through. Okay, so we're back at the home page, my Drive up here. So we're going to come down where it says Create, and we're going to select Folder. Now there's 2 different views. If I come over to the gear icon, you can use what's called the old look, and if you go to the old look, it says Collection. So the old look says Collection, whereas the new look says Folder. So it just depends upon which view you are in. So we're going to click on Folder. And once again, we'll just use that Add Admin fictitious course. As my top level folder that I see right here. You notice there's a little drop down arrow next to it, which allows me to do some things. I can open, create, which we're going to come into in just a minute here, share that folder with specific people. You can star it. Star it just basically allows you to find it quickly using a filter. You can organize that folder if you'd like, rename, change the color, mark as unviewed, download, and so forth and so on. So we're not going to get into all those details in this very short video. We'll cover those later in another video. But for the purposes of this, I'm going to come down to this little drop down menu, and you can see there's a fly out menu which comes out, and I'm going to select folder because I'm going to create a subfolder. And we're going to just again use the student metaphor, so Sally student, we'll use that. Again, we'll come up to the drop down menu, create folder, Billy student. And notice that automatically alphabetizes them. It will do that. If you want to force those to alphabetize, you can also use a number in front. And the number will obviously take precedence over the alphabetical arrangement of those folders. You can actually drag folders into other folders if you want. You can actually create subfolders of students. If you want to take that back out, you just take it back up to its parent folder and it'll just pop right back in where it needs to be. You can see as I highlight the folders, they highlight in color here as well. Now you can also change the color of those folders to give them a little bit more punch here if you want to, and be able to quickly identify. This also helps if you've got groups of students. You can actually group them by color coding, which is kind of nice as well. So the blue students, green students, red students, or what have you. So there we've got a folder constructed, and we've started to add our students. If I wanted to take that one out of there, I can obviously come down here to rename and just take that out, and it will automatically sort them into that alphabetical arrangement. We can also come here, we can add stars, and I'll show you. It's easier if I show you at the folder level what happens when I add stars. If I click on these stars, what it does is it basically allows me to find students or folders quickly vis-a-vis the stars. So if I click on starred, you can see that the star options come up here very quickly. So it's just a fast way to locate information very quickly. It just serves as a filter. So the folders are created, the top level parent folder is created, and now I can actually come in here if I want to for each of these folders and share that folder. So I'll click on share on that flyout menu. By the way, there is the hard and fast URL for that folder that goes directly to that, which may come in handy for certain applications where you want students to go directly to their folder, so you can copy that URL. But you can see who has access down here. Currently it's private. If you click change, you can make that public. You can make it public anyone who wants the link. You can make it just for people here at the university, or people at the university with the link, or you can privatize it by default. It's private. And then who has access? This is the owner, of course, the instructor, but you can then add people. So down here I would actually use the email address for that student. I would want to use their Gmail account. So their student email address with the @g.emporia.edu, which is their new Gmail account. And they all have that now, so they all have access to that. They should be able to get to that very easily. That will send a tickler to them in their email that says that they have access to that folder. They can then start to add content. And again, in a second follow-up video, I'll share with you how to actually add content to that folder. Again, by default, after you add the email address down here on the right-hand side, you can choose who has edit view or viewing privileges. So, editing privileges or viewing privileges, so I meant to say. So by default they can edit. Anybody with that email address can edit. You can also alternatively change that to just viewing properties, so just certain people can view it if you'd like to as well. Click share and save, and that will actually send an email to that person, to that student, with that information that they can go ahead and access. Similarly, you can share the main folder out using the same process. You just click the drop down arrow and then click the flyout. There is the hard URL. You can actually take that hard URL and put that into Blackboard or something if you wanted to actually sort of cross-link those applications so students can get to that folder very, very quickly. They can do that. So that's just one possibility of that. But this is a nice way to create these uploadable folders. Students can actually access that through their Google application and then be able to populate that with content, which again, we'll talk about that on a second version of this application or this video series when we come back and actually show you how to do that. But so that's the first part, is how to create those folders. Again, to recap, when you log into drive.google.com, go ahead and log in with your regular ESU credentials. You want to use the create option to create folder, or if you happen to be in the old view, you will instead see create collection. So it just sort of depends upon which view you are looking at. Under your Drive account, you can create your new folder, right? And then what I did is I named it, and then I created, using the drop-down arrow, I created subfolders through the flyout option folder, and that created those. I could change the color of each one of those if I would like. I can add stars and so forth and so on to each one of those. So very easy to manage that. And then finally, we added access permissions using the share option over here. So very simple to do. Unfortunately, it is manual. You'll have to do that manually. There's nothing that creates those folders automatically for you at this time. So that's a quick recap, and the next video will actually show you how to add content to that.